Yes, thank you, Christopher. Yes, it's quite a bit strange to come back on the usual politics here that we used to live here in the European bubble. But as you said, Christopher, it's important to have a look on that because these are the people who can decide and maybe have an impact also in educational sector, where including music could be really, as we have heard, a good way to make a new the future. I wouldn't say not future citizens, because they are already citizen children, but trying to be more try to feel belonging on this community, in this Europe. So I would like to share with you just few things, an overview on what is the new composition of the new parliament at the European Union. I will share my screen just to let you know more about this composition. As you can see here, can everybody see? Yes, as you can see here, these are the results of the last election, and what you see in blue are those more right side, and the red one, it's on left side, and the blue, clear blue, it's liberal, and the green, it's green. So as you can see, the composition moved a bit on the right side, and so in a different way to see and to have a different vision of children's and children's rights, but it's still balanced enough, and so we can keep on still working in pushing the children's rights. According to, as Alliance, we are part also on different children's rights action group that we are now working and advocating to re-establish the child rights intergroup at European Parliament. And the intergroup are a informal group at European Parliament formed by different political groups in order to mainstream children's rights in all the European agenda, political agenda. What we are expecting to in working and to advocate for, it's of course that every child has the same rights, and we don't leave anyone behind. This is the reason why it's very important to work and to push to educate new voters, new future voters, because children are future voters, to increase the impact of the European Union and to work for a better and more Europe. I know that it's quite strange. This looks like a foreign language for most of you, but it was just to make you understand that the support of all the organization as Sistema Europe, Fondazione Mariani, and all the other members of the Alliance for Childhood are very important to keep on the child rights at a high level in the European environment. This is for just a quick overview on what we do and why it's important to have this kind of event.
Could I just add, Chiara, of course, one of the main activities we've been working on for the last 12 years or more in the European Parliament is that every child has a right to an arts-rich curriculum, as a right, not as an option or an economic whatever, but actually every child across the world should be able to have an arts-rich curriculum. And that's part why we bring the politics into it as well. We have to convince those people who make these decisions that it's not just something that's done after school or something that you can just put on you know, in a small space in the life of a child. It makes so much difference to the whole development of the young person. And so that's part of our political struggle and why we also put a political dimension into what we're doing.
Thank you, Christopher. Any reaction on this? What you expect from European organization as alliance, or what you expect from European Union that could, or European Parliament could take over in terms of children's rights and rights of music? Open the floor to any comments or any wish you have. Joanna.
Thank you, Chiara, and thank you, Christopher, and everybody. Sorry for the camera. Just to add a little bit to what you just said, Chiara, about the importance of keeping children's rights high in the EU agenda and crossing and unifying forces to keep that way. I represent Make Mothers Matter, an NGO also working at the EU and at the international level. And I would like to say that it's as much as important to protect and to support children and children's rights, to support their families. I think we need to have a strong and resilient families in order to be able for them to be the best parents that they can be. And we know that all parents want to normally do all the best for the children. And we need to have these political frameworks that allow these parents to be the best parents. So that is just to little compliment what you say, but agreeing with you, of course, Chiara. Yeah, thank you much. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanna. And actually, as we have heard from the presentation from the expert, it's very important also to protect mothers and to make mothers matter, since we have seen that music has an impact already, even in pre-birth life. Any other comment? Maria.
So one of the concern, I think, of people who have grown up in music and then have somehow integrated the either operational work like we do with the Mariani Foundation for childhood, especially for equality between children, and the intervention in education, is the fact that sometimes there is a big gap between what children tell us empirically that helps them and what science is requiring us to prove. And I think this is for me a daily concern. So it's not that if we cannot prove it, we are going to not to pursue it. But what I really would like to discuss more, both with musicians and with scientists, and I wonder if there is a framework to involve the political, the cultural politics in this, is whether we can put together the results of research and have sort of an umbrella organization that would in a way host the resources that are either in the neurosciences or in the sociology or in neuropsychology or in cognitive sciences, to support the introduction in public education. So whether there can, so just to summarize after the overview, the question is there someone we can talk to, all of us, or you are talking to, in order to underline that whether it's proven or not, it's useful, but also if we want to prove it, make the best of what we have already proven and make it easily available. So that is a question for more for our, yes, yes, please.
Yes, I would like to say something. So it is true that many times we hear wonderful practices and wonderful things that are done, and there is a lack of evidence. Lack of evidence doesn't mean lack of efficacy. So now we hear more and more something that is called evidence-based education. It uses different means of proof as compared to scientific evidence-based medicine, for example, or scientific proof with neuroscience methods and so on. So these two things, qualitative and quantitative research, used to be a big debate and used to be a big juxtaposition. Let's say people were struggling in these two definitions, but right now there is no sense in having this struggle. So we can go on with qualitative, very good qualitative data, and we are seeing that all over Europe. In Italy, there is a wonderful experience in kindergarten and music given in kindergarten on over 800 schools in Italy. So I think there will be more and more of these evidences. And so people at higher levels of policy making should be made aware that there are many kinds of evidences that can be collected, and they should be made aware that they have to listen to what is coming up, because all of this has a different scale. So there is neuroscience, there is basic science, but there is also evidence-based education and all of these experiences that we're hearing about.
Thank you, Luisa. Other? Is Kevin still on? Because I would like to ask also to him his view, but I think it's not.
I don't think he's on.
Okay. Other who wants to comment or make a wish for the next European Parliament works and we can advocate for?
Maybe if I can say in the line of Luisa, I think it would be very fine if the European community was supporting an action about the importance of music for education. See, if we could have, we have done that in France 1 month ago, so I don't know with the situation in France if it will have an effect or not, but we have made a meeting in the Collège de France explaining to the politicians that it is very important to support music and in educational setting. And as Luisa said, we have a lot of evidence, and I think it would be very important if we could express this evidence at the European level in order that we may have European action about the importance of music for education. So this is a wish.
Sorry, Christopher. So I take what you are saying, Emmanuel, to share also another content with you, because recently the European Commission published guidelines for supporting well-being in school, and one of the recommendations is also including music in the school curricula. We were part of this expert group. I was one of the experts, and I'm going to share with you in the chat these guidelines, and where you can find also practices of how to include arts and music in school curricula. Here, over to you.